But there was a clip circulating yesterday. Speaking of clips, Dana White, obviously the man who founded UFC, um, having some interesting comments about the sport of soccer yesterday. And I saw this kind of circulating the other day. It said it's the least talented sport there is. Let me see if I can pull up the full quote that he had.
Yeah, he talked
Um,
about so his big thing was that it's low scoring. That was his big thing is a goal that big and it being 2-1 or 3-1. Like that was his big thing about soccer. And then he said
yeah,
3-year-olds could do it. I imagine you got it now.
yeah. Can't stand soccer. I think the least talented sport on earth. There's a reason why 3-year-olds play the sport. Hmm. Okay.
Well, 3-year-olds
Well,
play a lot of sports.
that's exactly it.
T-ball,
So, right, t-ball. I
mini
mean,
ball. Like
basketball.
the only thing they
Uh,
don't play would be hockey and football, right?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, the thing is like 3-year-olds play basketball. They don't dribble, but they definitely play basketball. But anyways,
It's like handball at that point.
let's dissect this a little bit. First of all, I will never disrespect mixed martial arts. I think it is from a just a raw skill set perspective. Anything when it comes to combat requires a lot of skill, a lot of timing, and a lot of mental fortitude. There's a reason why wrestlers are the way that they are physically, why their endurance is where it is. The worst defensive linemen I hated playing against when I was in high school were wrestlers or
Yeah, a lot
offensive
of them are.
linemen
A lot of linemen are.
because they don't have to be all that horribly big. They don't have to be all that massively wide. The one thing they know how to do is number one, they're going to beat you with their first step, right? Their first step is always going to be where it needs to be, and they know how to manipulate a body, right? And that's the most important thing when you talk about offensive and defensive lines. They understand how to get to a point to turn your body. And really that's all they need to do in order to spring a run or to spring a gap. It is the most physically daunting, mentally daunting, everything else along the line. If I were to rate who are the greatest quote athletes, right, per sport, I'm pretty sure it would be either mixed martial arts, Greco-Roman wrestling, or boxing. In
Golfers.
terms of golfers are athletic in one way, but not quite in to that extent. Um, but it is anything combat wise. I'm not going to disrespect mixed martial arts, but I think when we're talking about soccer, I think we need to realize something, and that's in order to play on a pitch that is that big and be able to time up your runs in a way to where you can score and string everything together. Soccer combines all the different elements. It's the physical, it's the mental, it's the having a good touch on your passes, it's the endurance with how far these guys run every single game that they play. There's so many different things about the sport. Just because it's not high scoring doesn't mean it's not a skilled based sport. And the reason why we're not caught up to the rest of the world is exactly that, is the individual skill set with the ball on our foot. That is something that we're getting to a point here in the United States because, again, we're all about physicality, explosiveness, raw, right? That's why we like football. That's why we like things like mixed martial arts because it's explosive and it's in your face. Soccer is in so many ways, and I compare this to kind of baseball. It's kind of a patient man's game. Your timing has to be there. You have to wait for the right moment to strike. And so all of that combined, I think, makes soccer one of the most talented sports. And if you watch 3-year-olds play soccer, they're not playing it the way that professionals play it. Clearly, when I watch elementary school kids play football, clearly they're not playing the same way that we see professionals play. There's so many different things about the sport that I think make it a talent-based sport. But what says you?
A couple things. There's an endurance. There's a foot skills. You got to make decisions on the fly. I mean, what sport doesn't? Like you're doing a whole bunch of different things, and And one thing that people obviously on TV do not understand is how fast the game actually is. The game is very fast, and
Yeah.
it's like your head is on a swivel, not 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I should say, and you have to constantly, whether you have to go into that space, go into this space, you constantly check your shoulder, constantly move in and out of spaces, in and out of defenders, find a little pockets of space to turn. Like when you find yourself in a little bit of a pocket of space with your back to goal and you have to turn, you have to make it that you have to already check your
Yeah.
shoulder, see where your defenders are behind you, check your shoulder, and you have to know in that split second while you are looking like this, the ball's coming to you, you have to catch it and make your decision immediately and try to go from there.
Yeah.
And you also got to look maybe where your teammates are on the field. So there's a ton of different things. And to the point about excuse me, about low scoring, you realize, excuse me, yesterday's national championship game, it finished what, 24-21? So if we were going simply off touchdowns, if we're going off simply off touchdowns, it's 3-3.
Yeah.
One touchdown is 6 points. Like they just
Yeah.
make up football just makes up the points as they go.
Yep.
A field goal, 3 points. Like what are you talking about? Like if you were to simply go down by if you constantly looked at every single football game and just went by like if you just counted 1 point for every touchdown, it'd be under 10 points a game. It'd be like I bet you would probably everyone would average 4.5, 5 points a game. So it'd be like 5-4 or something like that. Again, that's a high scoring soccer game, but the football scores wouldn't be as high as what people think. And to go to the point of the goal is so big and you can't do that. You have to hit a ball perfectly, through
Yeah.
traffic, through a couple of defenders, and a goalie who is well positioned to get his outstretched arm out, even if you put it in the top corner. Like
Yeah.
you still have to put something, even if you want to get it into the other corner. The score outside the 18 is incredibly tough to do because you have to hit it in the right pace. You got to get the right spin on it. You have to you probably have to get past a couple of defenders. The ball does at least. And then you still have the goalie who's world class and still has to put an arm out. Like
Right.
I go back to Declan Rice's free kick about 25 yards out against Real Madrid last year. The only reason that went in is because he put it in a spot where 6'5" Thibaut Courtois could not get the ball. Like literally put it in the corner of the side netting inside the goal. That's the only reason that goal went in, because of
Yeah.
how well he struck the ball. And to say,
Right.
just there's a reason why 3-year-olds play it. 3-year-olds do a lot of things. They
Yeah.
play t-ball. They play biddy ball, and God knows what else they do. They also wrestle each other, just not as violent as MMA. So technically,
Yep.
3-year-olds wrestle. If we're being completely honest, Dana. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it's just to me that just this whole take from Dana White is just a lazy American take. That's all it is. It's a
Yeah.
lazy American take that it's wimpy, little kids play. Oh, I played it when I was 3 years old or 4 and did this and that. It's just a lazy take because you're not actually going in depth of why you don't like soccer. Like if you said that I sat there and I just didn't understand the game and it's just
Yeah.
too slow for me, I would 100% understand that take. But you
Right.
coming out there and saying, well, it's just not talented. The goal is so low scoring. There's no skill involved. There's so much skill involved that people just
Yeah.
don't understand. It's just a lazy American take.
Right.
That's all.
And to strike a ball from whatever it is, 40 yards out, and be able to curl it past a goaltender. I mean, to bend the ball the way that some of these guys do with their foot and the coordination that they have to have in order to be successful in this sport is just absolutely wild to me. And the truth is, when people have takes like this, let me make something very clear.